What it do, what it do, what it do, good people, coming to you live from Tez TV 410. I'm your host, Tez Dean. Before we get started, go ahead and like, share, subscribe to the channel. Again, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're from Baltimore and you ain't subscribed to the channel by now, I don't know. I don't know. You ain't rocking with the kid or what? I don't get it. Anyway, I also like y'all, if y'all on Instagram, go to Rising Stars. See who put me in this, make this nice authentic sweatshirt for me. You know what I mean? He's gonna be doing my clothes, hair on out. You know, y'all, if y'all need them, go check them out on Instagram, Facebook. You know, cool dude. He got a lot more. He got a lot more designs and things of that nature. But come on, y'all know what we here for. Now, I told y'all before, right? Me growing up, my first year in high school, that 95, 96 year, my freshman year at Mervo was I'm going to say that's when the light bulb came on, right? I'm going to say that 8th grade year, I was naive, played basketball, but I didn't know half, who was coming from there, this, that, and I was coming from Northeast Baltimore, you know? Playing with Chicken Penny Leaf Walk, you know, we be at Easter tournaments, we be at BNBL, you know, a lot of times our BNBL somewhere else. Oh yeah, we took that over Mount Royal, 1300, but that's neither here or there, right? So going into high school, I'm gonna tell you like this. This was the year that I felt as though that I was looking at superstars, right? And to this day, I have a high respect for these guys from what they did back then, and they some good guys still to this day. Always treated me with respect, kindness, and things of that nature, and was humble, right? But we're gonna start off with my favorite All Metro team, right? Let's go. First off, we're going to start off with Coach William Wells, right? Coach William Wells, at this time, this before he won 500 wins. This before the 500 wins, right? But this when I can say St. Francis really went national. When I say that, I know we hear about St. Francis now, people. I know people, parents and everything. You're seeing your kids down there. Shout out to Nick for even taking the program to even higher stakes. But this man right here, William Wells, the one that started the whole thing. Towson State graduate. Worked down at Madison for about, 4 or 5 years, mentoring and doing different things of that nature. What I feel about Coach Wells, a lot of people look up to Coach Wells. He helped out a lot of people, things of that nature. St. Francis, he put St. Francis on the map. You get what I'm saying? First head coach to take a team up to the Alhambra and go ahead and, no, not the first. They ain't the first. It was the first St. Francis team that went up to Alhambra, and they won that thing. Yeah, they won that thing. We're going to go with Irving Conwell. 2-time player of the year out of Howard County. He averaged 25, 10, and 4 steals and 2 assists. Now, you talk to some people, he played with Bucky Lee, with Oliver, right? Now, so I only seen him in the summer. So I didn't see him that much. However, my friends was telling me, my Tez, listen, we had Mark Karcher, but he had a game like Mark Karcher. Now, I'm not going to be here, I ain't going to do, because like I said, I didn't see Irvin play. But any man that go for win a player of the year 2 times, average 25 points, 10 rebounds, 4 steals and 2 assists, I know he was that deal. You got Bo Biggs. Now listen, Bo Diggs, at this time, he was a junior, right? My next year, when I transferred down Dunbar, we ended up playing Annapolis the first game. But we'll get into that a little later on. Bo Diggs player of the year is his junior year. Senior year, I don't know. I don't know about the senior year. But he was cool. He was tough. 10th grade year going up against him and Barber. It was tough, but Jamal Brown came in. That was Jamal Brown. That was his coming out party. When he got that dunk, when he yelling, that's against the Nationals. All right, now we got Warren Dixon. Warren Dixon, what I can say about Warren Dixon? 2-time all first team all Catholic League, first team all Metro this year. A 6'2", 6'3" straight shooter. The first thing I think about that year, because I seen St. Francis and Campbell Hall go at it that year. They went at it. I'm talking about the games was classic. If the games was out now, if anybody got those games, please contact me. Please contact me. When I think about Warren Dixon, I think about Mr. Clutch. I think about him running off them screens off the baseline. I think about Big Pat Nagoma, big guy setting them screens for him. You know what I mean? Like Coach Tooch. That team was that team that they had that year was tough. They was tough. And everybody knew they role on that team. Everybody knew they role. Warren Dixon, he came up running. He 2 years in a row in the Catholic League, he was running up to Mark Karcher for Player of the Year. 2 years in a row. Them two did their thing. We got Josh the Valley. 2 times first team all Catholic League. Left-handed, big boy. Lefty, 6'8". Average a double-double. I like them because I once said he played with Bucky Lee also. Josh was cool. I used to like Josh's game. You got Johnny Hemsley. Now, at this time, first time I seen my freshman year, that was my first varsity game in the playoffs. Mervo, I got moved up to play varsity. Mervo, our first game was down in Southern. They spanked us. I got in and missed 2 free throws. I thought I was going to get my name in the paper for the first time. But yeah, I missed my free throw. But with Johnny Hemsley, now listen here. Charm City Classic. What I remember so vividly, like it was yesterday, baseline. Him running baseline, getting buckets baseline. But with that Southern team right there, it wasn't even all about Johnny. It wasn't all about Johnny. But Johnny was a top shooting guard in the country, one of the most sought out recruits that year. He ended up going to Miami. But when I tell you a real wing, I went to Iceland. Let me tell you a sidebar. I went to Iceland with Rick Matucci. This the guy that owned the AN1. Y'all remember the AN1 brand that was out? So every summer, he'd take kids, he'd get the kids together, and they'd take them overseas. So the one year he picked me, and we go to Iceland. So he like, you from Baltimore, boom, but you with the Dunbar, all right? You know Johnny Hemsley? At this time, I knew of Johnny. I seen him, my eyes wide when I seen him. Certain players you just watch. When you're young and you just watch. Everything they do, you just watch. So he was like, man, Johnny came, he played, I want to say that Johnny went to France with them and went nuts out over there. I'm talking about went nuts. I'm talking about, this how they described it to me, like, man, Johnny, he's a good guy, man. He's a great guy, man. And not only his game, I'm talking about he put on a show over there. Put on a show. Johnny Hemsley. Then you had Dedrick Galloway from Southern. Now, Dedrick, this is what I'm reading the newspaper. Dedrick said, told the paper at the beginning of the season that he didn't want to talk to them until the end of the season, right? Now, Dedrick putting up his numbers. He always had a solid face, though. I ain't never seen Dedrick smile, even at the three. Now, people, if you leave him alone, it's good. When people talk about shooters, they don't mention Dedrick as much as they should. They don't. Tough guard, you know what I'm saying? Played defense, could shoot the ball, and was smart. Shout out to Dedrick. Then you had Alfonso Jones. Now, Alfonso, listen here, you had to, Not until I started doing this TED TV, I didn't know Fonzo went to Douglas. He went to Douglas, went to St. Francis Cancer. They went back to Douglas, something like that. Went to St. Francis, went to Doug, then came back to St. Francis, something like that, right? Now, Alfonso, this was a guard that I felt as though I know was bigger than Coppin, right? I know he was bigger than Coppin. I understand that Rutgers was recruiting him out the Big East. Man, if y'all have seen a game of the Charles City Classic when he ran, they trying to trap him. Because, listen, he was so fast. He was fast, and he wasn't a small guard, but he was fast. He could shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Him, Mark, and Sean, I'm talking about like, and especially him and Mark, it was a beautiful sight to see. He ain't gonna, I ain't never see Fonzo back down for nothing. Nothing. I'm talking about on that court. His game was that. Funny thing about that though, I'm like, and I would like, this is a question I like to ask. When he was at St. Francis, he went to Doug. Doug almost won a state championship when he was there. He almost won a state championship when he was there. And then he went back. To St. Francis and ended up winning a Catholic League championship. You know what I'm saying? Rated in the country. You know, just put on. He put on. So I just I like to know what Fonzo, why did you even go back to the St. Francis? Or was it when you was at St. Francis, you knew y'all was gonna have a team at Doug, so you like, let me go back over here, win this, and then come back and then go back to St. Francis? I don't know, but you know, clear it up for the people that don't know. Then we have Reggie Johnson. R.I.P. to Reggie Johnson. Now, people, when I talk about Reggie Johnson, I be feeling like the people that's out of state, y'all know let me ask you this. If you seen Tony Delk play in Kentucky, that's Reggie. 6'2", could go upstairs, play defense in your face, can pass the ball, and can score it. Now, I mean, now listen here, man. Reg averaged a double-double. He averaged, 20 and 10 this year? 19 points, 10 assists, and I want to say four rebounds. I got to check the rebounds out, though. But I know he averaged a double-double. Point guard. Another sidebar. When I first hung out with Reg, right, we go to this, we playing for Cecil. So we go to Vermont, right? We go to Vermont, and we rode on the bus. Right, Vermont is Maine, up in Maine, like near the border of Canada, right? Different world. We Baltimore, act like Baltimore kids and everything at this time. We going all the way up in the sticks. However, we go out tonight. We get up there and we go out, right? So we all out. Somehow Reds go and we get the drink called Wild Turkey. Now, my people, Cecil Kirk, that's looking at this right now, they gonna laugh because that was there. Man. So I'm thinking, you know, we all indulging, you know. Now I'm super drunk. This is some Wild Turkey. Wild fucking turkey. Ray's playing with me. You all right? I'm like this. I gotta go back down. I gotta go back to the room. I'm going to sleep, right? I'm asleep for a while. Then I feel something. Everybody back from the club. Now they want to mess with me. I got roast beef in my mouth. They scared duty gonna find out. So they taking me out the bed now. I was asleep, happily asleep. Probably was in dreams and everything at this time. They throw me all in the shower. You know, only thing you see everybody laughing and joking and shit. Man, get up the next day. Ray's coming. Was you good, big fella? You all right? My dog. You know what I'm saying? Rub my head. Go watch him play. He had like he ain't drink nothing. Tip ball, boom, he dunk, boom. Throw it up like, man, he was just doing, he everywhere. I want to say everybody had to have the same feeling. I was looking like, how he was like that last night and he like this today. Reggie Johnson, R.I.P. One of West Baltimore finest people. Tommy Polly. Now Tommy's another guy that I looked up to. Not only because he played football, and that was my first sport. That was my first sport, but basketball. You know what I'm saying? I looked at that Dunbar team in senior year, and it felt like he was. You had a Chris Dean that made second team, and you had a freshman and Tim Lyles at the time. You had Atman Smith and them down there. You had Vanister. You had Ismac, the White. You had I know I'm forgetting. Darrell was on that team. Darrell Garrett was on that team. Shooter, you know what I mean? Darrell, we gotta sit down and talk too. We definitely gotta sit down and talk to you. From Darrell, I know the sidebar, y'all. From Darrell going from Southern and coming up to Dunbar, but we're gonna get to that a little later. But Tommy, man, he won 6 state champions, 6 state titles, 4 basketball titles, and 2 football joints. You know what I mean? Like Tommy was that. I used to watch Tommy game because he was so strong and he was slow on his feet playing the wing, right? Now, if y'all know me, I'm slow on my feet too. But it was one move that Tommy always did, and I'm like, he was going for it. When he got like he was going to cross, but you know he ain't going to cross, just left his leg up and keep going. Yeah, I took that. I put that in my bag. Tommy Powell, Dunbar. The second team, you had Desmond Daly. You had my bro, Chris Dean. Shout out to Chris Dean. You had my man Mike King. Shout out to my bro Mike King, Lake Clifton. You had Troy Lewis. Troy Rounderstown. Troy was a shooter, straight shooter. And I'm going over to Cotton. Had a tremendous career. John McClain. Pilot. When we talk about scoring, his name ain't mentioned enough. It's John McClain and is it Owen? Owen, it was another guy, it was another player too that was like that. You had Pat Nagumba, Big Pat Nagumba. I ain't know Pat transferred the senior year. I ain't know that. I thought he was always with Calvin Hall. But you know, he looked like a whole football player. Then you had Kofi Pointer, Big 6'8" Kofi. Now I felt how sharp his elbows was. You know, shout out to Kofi. You had Jason Vogman from Loyola. You had Marlon Wise. Point guard. Marlon was tough. Defensive point guard, up in your face the whole time. Ain't going back down. He come from the great Wise family, you know. Then you had Jermaine Young. I think I remember Jermaine. I want to say Jermaine was left-handed. He was a broad neck. I want to say he was left-handed, and I want to say he played on Bucky team. But good people, this is my favorite. This is the All Metro team that made the light bulb switch on that made me get in that gym. That made me like, this was everything to me. These players right here, I used to play NBA Live and create all the players. First team and second team. That's how much I was into this. Now we got Mark Karcher. Everybody know that's my favorite player all time, right? Favorite player all time. I got Kobe Bean Bryant, Mark Karcher, Michael Jordan. That's what I'm, Tim Thomas, Lamar Odom. They my guys. You know what I'm saying? I ain't say who the best. I'm talking about they my guys. You know what I mean? Mark Karcher, man. I can't say enough about Mark. 3-time player of the year. I'm talking about 3-time player of the year, Catholic League player of the year, multiple times. He go up, the McDonald Classic, all tournament. I think that was it. Was that Erie, PA? The tournament that y'all went to up in that St. Francis went to, the tournament that St. Francis went to in Canada, all tournament. I mean, Charm City Classic, MVP. I mean, 17 and under, USA team. I mean, playing against the likes of Sam Cassell, Kevin Simpson, Keith Booth, Dante Bright, Mike Lloyd. All this time, these guys in college and pros. That's why I'm bringing their names up. And he holding his own. He holding his own. Matter of fact, he ain't holding, he cooking. He's killing. He's killing. Because some people say that was the changing of the guards. That was changing. I know Big Bro Kev ain't gonna like this. There was the changing of the guards. Now, people, Mark Karcher wasn't no reclassified type of kid. You know, he was doing a lot of this. He's 16 and 17 years old. You get what I'm saying? He playing against grown men, 16 and 17 years old, good people. 16 and 17 years old. Yeah. Man, I ain't done, y'all know I ain't done with that with Mark yet. But however, that 95, 96 All-Metro team, I'd like to say salute and stay tuned to Tez TV. I holla. One.